coming soon. Let's continue.
What am I talking about? I don't know.
I know, I don't even remember. You were gonna talk about West Virginia.
Okay, we rode from Addison, Illinois through Kentucky, through parts of Tennessee, and ended up in West Virginia in the mountains by the Gully River, and that's where we did whitewater rafting. And the scary part about that wasn't being in the boat, it was the bus ride going up. Came back down, then we took the motorcycles and rode them to that big bridge. You've seen them, they do bungee jumping off of it. It's in West Virginia. It's a famous bridge, and it's on the back of a quarter, I think. Oh God, I can't think of the name of it. Shoot. But we were there too, on the bridge with the motorcycles. And I'm thinking, holy cow. I mean, this bridge is one of the highest bridges in the United States. And then we got off of that, and some people were doing bungee jumping. And then we rode all the way back home. That's basically, other than going in the mountains, the one mountain when we went up as high as 10,000 feet. It got cold. So we put on our jackets. By the time we got back down the mountain, it was 98 degrees. And we stopped the bikes to take off our equipment. We almost lost the bike. It almost went off the road. But Jack and Jackie ended up in a ditch. We didn't. And saw so many beautiful mountains, though. The mountains with the snow were the Tetons, they call. We saw the Tetons. We rode the motorcycles from Chicago to North Dakota. And that's where everybody does the motorcycle rides. You've heard of the rally, Harley Davis. We rode through there, not with them because we didn't want to go down. And we rode the motorcycles through there, stayed in an old-fashioned hotel there, and got to see so many things. We got to see, we rode them all, it rode all the way back down to Cody, Wyoming. After we went through North Dakota, we went all the way to Cody, Wyoming, and a little bit of Idaho. We had a lot of adventures on that darn thing. But put a lot of miles on the bike. Just the sightseeing was just breathtaking, though, because I like outside. So to be on the back of a motorcycle, to ride my own motorcycle, most of the time, Pop and I had chatterboxes in our helmets so that we could talk back and forth to each other. He was on his bike, I was on mine. And that's how we could communicate too. And we had a GPS that took us through. We went through sand dunes, not with the motorcycles. We put the motorcycles aside and went on ATVs through the sand dunes. And I think you'll see that in that movie too. We went on sand hills that were completely red. And it was amazing that a heavy ATV could climb up on there. And we went across it and then down. And then we also rode on mountains that look like rock. You'll see again in that movie. Pop will be on one, and I think I was taking the movie on that one. But we rode those too, and that was bumpy. And then we'd come up to maybe a clearing that was a real pretty lake in Hurricane, Utah. That was pretty. We rode through Las Vegas, Where else were we on the darn things? We were all over. And then came back and always a lot more happier than when we went, right? Just seeing all the sights it's the way to travel. It really is the way to travel. Just to go and see what the animals were out. They would come out, of course, bears, and there would be people that stopped to see the bears, and they were like up on a hill. And I said, "We're gonna stop? Really? I mean, they can't hurt the people, but they can come after us because we're on a motorcycle."
Yeah.
So that was fun doing too. I can't think of anything else, Al. We had a lot of fun doing it. Give me some questions.
Well, I know you said that you ended up wanting a motorcycle because of the mopeds in Florida.
Yeah.
So is that like the first time you ever like wanted
Rode, yes. And that was on the beach at Daytona. We rode some on there, and then we went up to Clearwater, Florida, rented some again in there, and I said, that's it, I gotta have a motorcycle. And then we would always, in the summertime, we mostly went in June or September. That was the better riding time for heat. And, I saw what else did we see? The Hoover Dam.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun too. That was 106-degree weather though. It was hot that day. And a lot of desert out that way too. We saw desert, we saw mountains. Oh, we went to one mountain that was called a hole in the wall, a hole in the mountain. And there's a picture of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the mountain you'll see in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get to see what that looks like. Because he's the one that approved all of the national parks.
Mm-hmm.
So we learned things as we were going. Jack and Jackie then bought the house out there. So we parked most of our equipment in his garage so that we could ride from his house up the coast. Oh, we saw the sea lions in California, and I'm jumping around. I can't help it. When we went to up the coast of California, we even seen sea lions. So you're gonna have to put this together a little bit, kid.
Yeah, that's why I have to edit afterwards.
Watch that movie, and you'll see a lot of things that we did. That DVD. It's a little corny, but you'll see how we rode through mountains. We went to see the one that was, it was another mountain that was hollowed out, and we actually stood on the bottom and looked up, and you could see the different layers of the mountain.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was really pretty to see. I kept telling your cousins, someday I wish I could take you out there to see everything that I saw. But when Felicia went out to Colorado, she kind of learned, a lot of what that was.
Mm-hmm.
Red Rock Mountains. That was pretty too. That was like in between. And then when we went to see Yosemite National Park, glaciers that come out of the earth are just breathtaking. Saw live animals, a lot of live animals along the way.
Mm-hmm.
We really had a good time. If I had more of my pictures in front of me, I probably could remember a lot more of what we saw. And if you would have warned me, I would have thought this through.
I told you that we were doing it.
An interview about me riding the motorcycle. I didn't give it another thought.
And what do your singles group call you again?
What did they call me? I forgot.
Wasn't it like motorcycle?
Mama. Motorcycle mama, yep. Yeah, that's why I pulled those pictures out, because we have another girl that used to ride too. But she never went out of Illinois. Pop always wanted to go other places. We went through Denver. We rode through Colorado Springs. So the trip consisted of going up to North Dakota, down through Mount Rushmore. We saw the presidents. Through Denver, no, through Colorado Springs, and then did some whitewater rafting there. That was the first, but those waves weren't as high as what we did in West Virginia. That was a lot higher. And then from there we went to Cody, Wyoming, and we saw so many memorabilia, so many old-fashioned towns, a rattlesnake, because we were in the desert, and I think that's about it, kid. I can't think of anything else right now.
Okay, so I kind of wanted to like start it off with like a little introduction so that people like know who you are and they watch. So like, you know, like say your name and like maybe say like, oh, hi, I'm Rosemary Nast, aka Motorcycle Mama.
Oh, you want me to say that? I'm Rosemary Nast, aka Motorcycle Mama.
Something along those lines. I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, but
loved riding motorcycles. Started out on the moped, enjoyed that, and from then on I had to have my own motorcycle. And luckily enough, we rode all the way around here. We came to your birthday parties on the motorcycles. We went to Chris and Tim's on the motorcycles.
I remember that.
Yeah. So we would ride them all through here too. I used to ask Jack, I said, how do you know where you're going on this thing? Well, I go left, right, and come home, right, left. I said, oh my God, that's what we've been doing? And he says, yeah, that's how he's taken his all the way up to Alaska. We wanted to do that, but there wasn't enough time. But that would have been cool. That would have been cool. Even if Pop went on another ride, which they call the, Dragon. And that he went through west, and it was Route 64. And it took him through another national park all the way to Smoky Mountains. I didn't go on that ride. I would have liked to have, but Nana was sick then. So I stayed back and took care of her. But he went on that ride. He enjoyed that ride too. Luckily enough, I had a husband that enjoyed riding, so it was something that we did quite often. We rode from 1998 all the way to 2008 on the motorcycle, so 10 good years. Then we started riding, after that we rode 2-up, they call it, and that's where we were both on the Goldwing. And the Goldwing is what we took towards the end of our riding experience. But we had a lot of good times going through all those places. We tried to ride them in Hawaii. Now in Hawaii, we did a thing called Flume in the Chutes. And that's where you go up on the mountains, but we went up on the mountains with the ATVs. And we rode through, actually we were on the sugar canes in Hawaii. And we rode this 2-man boat. Were all 4 of us on the same boat? I think all 4 of us were on the same boat. We had helmets on with a light because we went through tunnels with the boat, and then we'd come out by waterfalls and we'd go down the waterfall with this boat, and we all had to wear wetsuits. in order to do that. Another nice experience. That was in Hawaii on the Big Island. But we couldn't rent the motorcycles because somebody had gone off the mountain and died.
That's sad.
So they wouldn't rent any more motorcycles. They had had rain before we had gotten there, and the people were riding in the rain. It's not easy to ride in a mountain.
Mhm.
You've got to be careful. Like I said, one side of the mountain has, watch out for falling rock, and the other side drops off into the valleys.
Pick your poison, I guess.
Mhm. You stay in the middle. You take that bike and you stay in the middle.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, can you try to say something along the lines of like introducing yourself?
Like, my name is Rosemary Nast. I enjoy riding motorcycles. My friends used to call me Motorcycle Mama. And I started riding in 1998. Took lessons from Elgin Community College. Passed the test on my first try. At that time I was riding the Honda 250. Loved it so much and took that through some of the mountains in Utah and found out it wasn't powerful enough. So I upgraded to a 650 and took that. And then finally I got an 850 motorcycle that took me through the rest of the mountains and through Yosemite all the way to the Grand Canyon. We even rode to the Grand Canyon. So we had a great time doing all of that. A lot of things to see in this world if you get on a motorcycle. How's that?
That's a good finish.